I'm David Levin, and welcome to another monumental episode of Pop Goes the Culture, the behind-the-scenes TV stories you wouldn't have known from the people who were there. Today, my candid conversation with Debbie Allen takes us deeper inside a different world. We'll talk about how her young actors on that show complained about Debbie's ritual of everyone doing morning stretching and calisthenics. And she'll crack up discussing the practical joke she played on Jasmine Guy with Denzel Washington, plus choreographing the Oscar telecast. Morning stretching exercises?
Well, listen, I believe that any sitcom is a repertory theater company, and week to week it's a new play. And you can't come in there eating a donut and then gonna get me excited by your performance. Honey, put that coffee and donut down. Drink some water and let's do some sit-ups. Let's get the body stimulated so the mind is sharp. So I used to make them do like a 20-minute warm-up, and honey, you know what? They got to where they actually liked it. And I would play music, and then I would let them, tell me what's the next exercise? Come on, you're next, Don Lewis. What do you want to do, Jasmine? And they actually started to understand. What it did was it disengaged any competitiveness. It just neutralized everyone. It made us all on the same level.
Diane Carroll could not believe it when she walked on the set and saw that. And she was just like, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. She was just really impressed. However, I have a quote from our friend Jasmine.
Yes.
Who I loved, and they had like a mutual love fest there, so I just have to tell you that. What did she say? Debbie's a hard worker, and Debbie had a thing about being late. But Debbie is harder on her women than her men, okay? And the boys would always come in late, Kadeem and Daryl. And one day we were stretching, and I noticed that Daryl was timing it to come in right at the end of the warm-up, like, how convenient. And finally I just said, we were bouncing, and I just want to know why some of us have to be on time and other people don't. And a hush fell over Jerusalem.
There she took my line. I taught them that a hush fell over Jerusalem. Well, yeah, the boys need extra care. They just do. I don't know why. Men don't mature. My own son, has not matured at the same pace as my daughter. And it just takes more coaxing, more loving. I mean, you go from sweetie, come on, to damn it, do it, to I can't talk to you anymore, back to crying, then laughing. I mean, you just keep trying and trying and trying. And they always say I have a soft spot for the boys, and that might be true. I'm my daddy's daughter. What can I say? I'm a daddy's girl. But I was determined to get Kadeem to where he was responsible, because how could he ever lead if he didn't follow? And actually, when he did another series, they called me in to direct because they felt I might be the only director that could get him up to speed, and it did work. Yeah.
But thank God somebody could.
Well, yeah.
Well, okay. I'm going to say 2 words. If it's not enough to get the story out of you,
Okay.
then I'll coax you some more.
All right.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington. Oh, my brother. I mean, I've known him since he was doing showcase theater in New York with my sister. I saw him play Malcolm X when he was like 25, 6 years old. We were doing an episode of A Different World, and there was a line in there about Denzel that Jasmine Guy had to say. And Denzel was, already a movie star. He was a movie star when he did St. Elsewhere. He was a movie star from the beginning. Everyone has always loved him. I mean, I'm sorry, hands down. The women love him. The men admire him. But, I mean, women go crazy. Anyway, so she had this scene, and he lived not far away from the studio. I said, Denzel, just do me this one favor. Come over here. I gave him the time to come. We sneaked him in the studio. She had already done the take. And Jasmine could get a little, I did it, Debbie. I don't want to do it again. I said, Jasmine, I need it again. Why? I said, because I said so. We need it again. Just try it. Just try to make it fresh again. I just want to see what might happen. She was rolling her eyes and giving me all that attitude. And she said, Denzel, he opened the door. She thought she was seeing a ghost. She screamed. I think she almost peed her pants. She screamed so loud, it stopped us for about at least half an hour. It stopped production for a good half an hour. That he was on the set, I mean, everybody went insane. That was one of the greatest moments and one of the best gifts I could ever give to any of them for him. And he's such a sweetheart that he would come and do it.
That's so wonderful. That is so...
It was so great.
She said that you had her really on the second take just push the orgasm pretty much. And she said that's why she was so that's why she screamed, because she was mortified.
She was so mad. Well, at first she was mad that she was doing it again. She had such a little attitude. I said, look, Miss Thing, I'm directing, okay? Come on, we're going to do it again. But Debbie, Jasmine, okay now. Oh, it was glorious. I'm sure you can get the footage of that.
We're trying.
Oh, they have it. Oh, they have it. It was in our outtake reel. It was, yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have it, would you?
I don't know. I'll go look. I kept a lot of my different world stuff.
Maybe you can get Denzel to talk to us. That'd be cool.
Oh, he's going to be in New York.
Yeah? Well,
he's in New York. He's just finishing Julius Caesar this Sunday. I'm going to see it one last time. I went to the opening. Oh, my God. Magnificent.
Yeah, like that.
Magnificent. So powerful.
So talk to him. Ask him.
I'll ask him.
Tell me you're having fun.
But he's going to be in New York. He might come home for a couple of days.
Well, we shoot in New York also.
Okay.
So we're doing both. That is funny. Are there any other sort of things like that were just sort of like, I mean, was it it sounds like it was a tight set in terms of discipline,
yeah,
but a loose set in terms of creativity. And fun.
Yeah. That was amazing. That was a great experience. Different world. And I think they realize now how good we had it, because we had an offer to continue. But Jasmine just said, I don't want to play Whitley. I'm like, honey, you don't understand. And then everybody went out and tried to get this show, that show, but no show is stuck. Nothing stuck like what we had. And the studio and the network were going to go forward. But Jasmine didn't want to do it, and so the hard thing about Different World was how unceremoniously they took us off the air. That was hurtful. We had done so much. We tripled the enrollment of historically black colleges. Did you know that? Tripled. So we more than did our job.
I heard somebody called and wanted to go to Hillman. Somebody
wanted to go to where is the school?
Could you tell me that story real quick?
Yeah, somebody called up. One of the people watching the show really thought this was a real place because it was so real. They called and said, where is Hillman? I want to go. I really want to go there. And we had to say, honey, you know what? Try Howard University, try Hampton, try Morehouse. Hillman doesn't really exist.
Fame, you put your mark on, not knowing that you were going to be putting your mark on.
Yeah.
Different World, as a mature director, creative entity, you put your mark on that show, even though it wasn't your show initially.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other? Are there other things that you feel like, okay, you look at this, it's Debbie?
Oh, well, I did those Oscars for 10 years. I did the Academy Awards. You mean, are there other productions or?
Yeah.
I did the Academy Awards. I was their artistic director for 10 years. And it was an amazing experience. And I remember when Gail Cates first asked me to do it, and I was like, it's about time, while my leg is still going up. Because I had won Emmy Awards for other things, and I had just done this amazing number for Motown, for Suzanne DePass, The History of Dance, and Gil saw that, and he wanted that for film. So my experience was just totally perfect for them because I was so into movies and everything. So it was a big challenge, though, because often I was always the only woman in the room, and I always had ideas about doing things differently. But Gil Cates was always, let's try it. All right, kid. He would always say, all right, kid, how long is it? He always wanted to know how long it was. Honey, if it was past 2 minutes and 50 seconds, kill it. I don't care how good it is. He wanted it shorter. But he was very supportive, and that's why I think he kept asking me, because I would always think of something wonderful And I worked with an amazing, I changed the complexion of the dance company. I grew up watching the Oscars as a kid. And I never saw anybody that looked like me on the show. And that was the beauty of it, was being able to make it really reflect America, you know, the American film industry. And so the company became dynamic, and we became so dynamic that people started to complain. Well, is it a dance concert or all these dance numbers? But, you know, it was...
But you changed it up. You tried different things. I remember one number where there was interaction between the dancers and what was up on the screen behind them. That was incredible.
Yeah, we came through the screen.
Right.
I did that number, and I remember just before the day before, Gail said, okay, kid, what's plan B in case this shit doesn't work? I said, honey, there ain't no plan B. I had threatened those dancers. I said, and when you come through that screen, honey, if anybody falls down, you'll never dance again in life. I threatened them. But it was so great, and they did it. Jasmine was actually in it.
Really?
I put her in it. She starred in that number. And I remember she was playing opposite a boy named Steve LaChance. And somebody in the creative room said, but how are you going to do this as the history of film? And this? I said, the history of film is a love story set against the war. That's the history of film. Everybody's fighting. Somebody's boy meets girl, loses girl, gets her back. He said, but she's black and he's white. And I was like, oh, man, here we go with that again. Well, we just ignored that person and moved forward, you know, so.
That's it for now. Next time, Debbie Allen reflects on the impact of her work, the controversy over the AIDS episode of A Different World. Also, Debbie takes a quantum leap. What do you think about Debbie's methods of dealing with her young actors? Let me know in the comments. Till then, I'm David Levin. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you're already a subscriber and you don't want to miss an episode, tap the bell icon. We'll let you know exactly when we're showing new episodes of Pop Goes the Culture, Ask Them Yourself, and the Boomer Tube.